Pain is the most honest thing you will ever feel in your life. Pain does not lie, it does not fake, it does not pretend. When you're in pain, you know it's real, and that's why pain is the most powerful fuel you could ever have. Most people look at pain as punishment, as a curse, as something they need to run away from. But the ones who rise, the ones who build unshakable strength, the ones who create a life worth remembering, they understand that pain is not punishment. Pain is the greatest gift. Pain is fuel. Think about it. Every moment in your life when you truly grew, when you truly changed, when you truly leveled up, it didn't happen when you were comfortable. It didn't happen when life was easy. It didn't happen when everything went your way. It happened when you were broken. It happened when you were hurt. It happened when you had nothing left but willpower and stubbornness to keep moving forward. Pain is the spark that forces you to adapt, forces you to evolve, forces you to fight. Without pain, there is no strength. Without pain, there is no growth. Without pain, there is no greatness. When you feel pain, it means life is testing you. It means life is handing you energy in its rawest, most aggressive form. You can either let it destroy you or you can harness it. Pain can break you, but it can also build you into a version of yourself you never knew existed. Every scar you carry on your body, every heartbreak you carry in your soul, every failure you carry in your memory, that is proof that you've been in the fire, and you know what fire does. It burns away the weak parts and leaves behind steel. Pain forges you into something indestructible if you let it. But here's the truth. Most people don't. Most people collapse under pain. They complain, they quit, they cry for sympathy, and they spend their lives resenting what they went through instead of using it. That's why most people never rise above mediocrity. They think pain means stop. They think pain means failure. They think pain means life is unfair. But winners, the relentless ones, they see pain differently. They look at pain and they say, good, this is fuel, this is what I needed, this is what's going to push me to the next level. Let me tell you something, you will never escape pain. No matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, pain will find you. If you chase comfort, you'll experience the pain of regret. If you chase greatness, you'll experience the pain of sacrifice. You cannot live a life without pain. The only choice you have is which pain you're willing to endure. And if you're smart, you'll pick the pain that builds you instead of the pain that destroys you. The pain of discipline, the pain of grinding, the pain of waking up early, the pain of long nights and tough choices. That pain is fuel. That pain buys freedom. That pain buys respect. That pain buys legacy. Think about the moments you were betrayed, when someone walked out of your life, when someone doubted you, when someone laughed at you, when someone said you weren't good enough. Those moments cut deep, but instead of letting them poison you, what if you let them fuel you? What if every insult became a reminder to go harder? What if every rejection became a reason to sharpen yourself? What if every heartbreak became the fire that forged your resilience? Suddenly, the same pain that could have broken you becomes the engine that carries you forward. Pain is energy, pure, raw energy. And you get to choose how you use it. You can sit there and drown in it, or you can turn it into motion. You can let it drag you down, or you can use it to launch yourself higher. The reason so many people stay stuck is because they waste their pain. They talk about it, they replay it, they let it eat them alive instead of channeling it. They want sympathy, they want validation, they want someone to care, but the world doesn't care. The world only respects results. Which means the only way to make your pain matter is to use it. To take it and channel it into action, into discipline, into consistency. When you feel pain, that's the signal. That's life saying, here's your moment. Here's your chance to show what you're made of. Don't run from it. Don't numb it. Don't wish it away. Embrace it. Let it drive you. Let it push you. Every time you feel pain, you should smile and think, good. This is fuel. This is exactly what I need to keep going. And the truth is this, the more pain you've been through, the stronger you can become. The deeper the cut, the greater the scar, the tougher the warrior. People who have lived without pain may look comfortable, but they're fragile. One storm, one tragedy, one loss, and they shatter. But those who have lived through fire, those who have been through the trenches, those who have been beaten down and kept going, they are unbreakable. They are unstoppable. They are warriors, and their weapon is pain. Your pain can become your story, but only if you use it. People don't remember those who quit in their suffering. They remember those who transformed their suffering into greatness. Every champion you admire, every legend you study, every success story you look up to, they all have pain at the center of their journey. That was the fuel, that was the reason, that was the energy that took them from ordinary to extraordinary. So the next time you feel broken, the next time you feel like life is unfair, the next time you feel like quitting, I want you to remember this. Your pain is not the end. Your pain is the beginning. Your pain is not weakness. It's strength in disguise. Your pain is not punishment. It's preparation. Every second you spend suffering is a second you could be using to sharpen your mind, strengthen your body, and harden your spirit. Pain is inevitable, but weakness is optional. And if you're willing to embrace pain, to endure it, to use it, then there is no limit to how far you can go. Pain is the fuel that will power your discipline, your grind, your hunger, your drive. Pain is the reminder that you're alive, that you're still in the fight, that you still have a chance. So don't run from it. Don't waste it. Don't fear it. Take your pain and let it set fire to everything you touch. Let it be the reason you don't quit. Let it be the reason you work harder. Let it be the reason you rise when everyone else falls. Because pain is not your enemy. Pain is your fuel. And if you use it right, it will carry you further than comfort, further than luck, further than talent ever could. Pain is your power. Embrace it. Use it. And let it drive you to a life that others can only dream of. Excuses don't change your life. Excuses don't pay your rent. Excuses don't put food on the table. Excuses don't buy freedom. Excuses don't give your family a better future. Excuses don't put respect on your name. And yet most people live their whole lives building excuses instead of building results. They'll tell you why they couldn't, why it was too hard, why the timing wasn't right, why someone else had it easier. But none of that matters because the world doesn't reward excuses. The world rewards execution. The world rewards results. You think your landlord cares if you had a tough week. You think the bank cares if you were tired. You think the people who depend on you are comforted by the reasons you failed. No. Bills are due whether you're sick, whether you're tired, whether you're heartbroken, whether life has been unfair. The harsh truth is that nobody cares about the reasons why you didn't make it happen. They only care about whether you did or you didn't. Excuses are invisible to the world, but the consequences of those excuses are real, permanent, and heavy. Everybody has a story. Everybody has pain. Everybody has a reason to quit. But the difference between those who win and those who lose is simple. Winners don't let excuses run their life. Losers feed themselves lies to make failure feel softer. They'll say, I'm not ready, I'm too tired, I'll do it tomorrow, I didn't have the time, I didn't have the money, I didn't have the support. But the truth is, nobody ever has perfect conditions, nobody ever feels fully ready. Nobody ever has unlimited time, unlimited energy, or unlimited resources. Success has never been about waiting for the perfect situation. It's about making progress despite the imperfections. You have to understand that excuses are poison. They sound sweet in your mind because they justify your weakness, but they're the very thing keeping you stuck. Every time you say, I can't, what you're really saying is, I won't. Every time you say, I don't have time, what you're really saying is, it's not important enough to me. Every time you blame circumstances, you're admitting that you're powerless, that life controls you instead of you controlling life. And the more you feed yourself excuses, the more you believe them, the more you shrink into mediocrity. Look at the people who are successful, who live with freedom, who walk with power. Do you think they didn't have excuses? Do you think they didn't have reasons to quit? Of course they did. The difference is, they refused to listen to them. They told their excuses to shut up. They pushed forward anyway. They showed up tired. They showed up broke. They showed up heartbroken. They showed up scared, but they showed up. And because they showed up when most people didn't, they built the life most people never will. Excuses are easy. Discipline is hard, but only one pays the bills. Excuses feel good in the moment because they take the pressure off your shoulders. They let you relax. They let you say, it's not my fault. But when the moment passes, the reality doesn't change. Your situation is still the same, your bills are still there, your dreams are still far away, your life is still small. Excuses only delay your progress, but discipline creates it. Every time you choose to act instead of excuse, you move one step closer to the life you want. Think about this. 5 years from now, you're going to look back, and the only question will be, did I build or did I excuse? Did you push through and create something real, or did you spend years lying to yourself about why you couldn't? The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of excuses lasts forever. Excuses leave you broke, bitter, and full of regret. Discipline leaves you free, fulfilled, and proud. Nobody cares how tired you are. Nobody cares how busy you are. Nobody cares how unfair life has been to you. Everyone has pain. Everyone has struggles. Everyone has reasons to quit. But only those who refuse excuses earn the right to win. Stop convincing yourself that your story is harder than everyone else's. Stop telling yourself that you're the victim of circumstances. Life is tough for everyone. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It only cares about your contribution. Every time you make an excuse, you rob yourself. You rob yourself of progress, of growth, of results. You rob your future self of opportunities, freedom, and respect. And the worst part, you don't even realize it until it's too late. Until the years are gone, until the chances are gone, until the people who depended on you have stopped waiting for you, then you'll realize excuses didn't save you. They destroyed you. If you want a better life, stop lying to yourself. Stop giving yourself a way out. Stop softening the truth. Be real enough to say, I didn't do it because I chose not to. Because when you take responsibility like that, you also take back power. Excuses make you powerless. Responsibility makes you powerful. The moment you stop making excuses and start taking action, your life begins to change. When you wake up tired, go anyway. When you don't feel like it, do it anyway. When it hurts, push through anyway. That's how you win. That's how you build a life worth living. Not by explaining why you couldn't, but by proving that you did. People respect action. People respect results. Nobody respects excuses. Excuses don't pay bills. Excuses don't build legacies. Excuses don't create freedom. Only hard work, sacrifice, and relentless discipline do. And once you understand that, you'll never let another excuse leave your lips. Because every time you want to say, I can't, you'll remember that I can't doesn't feed your family. Every time you want to say, I'll do it tomorrow, you'll remember that tomorrow's not guaranteed. Every time you want to blame circumstances, you'll remember that the world doesn't care. So stop talking, stop complaining, stop explaining. Nobody cares why you didn't do it. Show them what you did. Show them the results. Show them the life you built because you refused to let excuses own you. At the end of the day, you have two choices, excuses or results. One makes you comfortable, the other makes you great. One leaves you with regret, the other leaves you with freedom. One keeps you broke, the other pays the bills. Choose wisely. Motivation is overrated. Motivation is the rush you feel after watching a video, after hearing a speech, after getting inspired for a moment. Motivation feels good, but it fades. It disappears the moment life punches you in the face, the moment you wake up tired, the moment things don't go your way. Motivation is like a spark, it can light a fire, but if there's no fuel behind it, it dies out. That's why most people quit. They depend on motivation. They depend on feeling like it. They depend on being excited every day. But if you wait for motivation, you will lose because motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Discipline is what carries you when motivation disappears. Discipline is the reason you wake up when the alarm goes off, even though you want to stay in bed. Discipline is the reason you show up at the gym when you're sore and tired. Discipline is the reason you grind when nobody's watching, when nobody's clapping, when nobody's even paying attention. Discipline is doing what has to be done, not because you feel like it, but because you committed to it. That's why discipline will take you where motivation never could. The truth is, motivation is emotional. It's based on feelings, and feelings are inconsistent. One day you feel strong, the next you feel weak. One day you feel inspired, the next you feel lazy. If your life depends on feelings, your life will be unstable. But discipline doesn't care about feelings. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired, if you're stressed, if you're heartbroken, if you're unmotivated. Discipline doesn't ask questions, it demands action. And when you live by discipline, you become unstoppable because nothing controls you, not your mood, not your emotions, not your excuses. People love to say, "I'll start when I feel ready," but the truth is, you'll never feel ready. You'll never feel motivated every day. You'll never wake up every morning with excitement and energy. Some days you'll feel like quitting. Some days you'll feel like skipping. Some days you'll feel like giving in. And that's when discipline matters most. Discipline says, "I don't care how you feel. We're doing it anyway." That voice inside you, the one that doesn't negotiate, the one that doesn't compromise, that's discipline. And if you can build it, nothing can stop you. Motivation is like a visitor, it comes and goes. Discipline is like family, it stays. Motivation is fragile. Discipline is unbreakable. Motivation can be killed by one bad day. Discipline survives bad days, bad weeks, bad years, because discipline isn't about hype, it's about habits. It's about consistency. It's about doing the work whether you're in the mood or not. Discipline is boring, but boring builds empires. Discipline is repetitive, but repetition creates mastery. Discipline is hard, but hard is what creates strength. Look at anyone who has achieved something great. Do you think they were motivated every single day? No, they were disciplined. They worked when they didn't feel like it. They studied when they wanted to sleep. They trained when their body begged them to rest. They sacrificed pleasures for progress. And because they were disciplined, they built results that the motivated crowd could only dream about. Motivation might get you started, but discipline finishes the job. That's the difference between people who try and people who win. Anyone can start when they're motivated, but only the disciplined ones finish no matter how they feel. That's why discipline beats motivation every single time. You have to understand that motivation is a liar. It makes you feel like you're unstoppable, then abandons you when things get tough. That's why people start strong and fade away. They rely on hype instead of habits, but discipline never lies. Discipline says, if you do this every day, you will get stronger. If you do this every day, you will get smarter. If you do this every day, you will build results. It's not glamorous, it's not exciting, but it's the truth. Discipline means you stop negotiating with yourself. You stop saying, just 5 more minutes. You stop saying, I'll do it tomorrow. You stop saying, I don't feel like it. Discipline means you make a decision and then you stick to it no matter what. Discipline means you run your day instead of letting your day run you. Discipline means you control your life instead of letting your feelings control you. If you want freedom, build discipline. If you want respect, build discipline. If you want success, build discipline, because the life you want isn't built by motivation. It's built by consistent action, and consistent action only comes from discipline. Motivation might light the fire, but discipline keeps it burning until it becomes an inferno. When you're disciplined, people notice. They see that you don't skip, that you don't quit, that you don't slack. And whether they like you or not, they respect you. Discipline commands respect. Motivation only commands attention for a moment. That's why people admire discipline, because they know how hard it is. They know most people can't do it. They know most people fold the moment their feelings get in the way. And here's the secret. Once you build discipline, you don't need motivation anymore. You don't need to feel like it. You don't need to be hyped up. You don't need someone to push you. You push yourself. You become your own engine. You become your own force. That's what makes you dangerous. Because while everyone else is waiting for motivation to show up, you're already 10 steps ahead, powered by discipline. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop waiting for the perfect mood, the perfect energy, the perfect timing. It doesn't exist. If you want it, you do it. If you need it, you commit to it. If you say it matters, prove it with discipline, because in the end, motivation won't save you. Motivation won't build your life. Motivation won't carry you through the storms. Discipline will. Discipline is the only thing strong enough to carry you through hell and bring you out stronger on the other side. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is the engine. Motivation is loud, but discipline is silent. Motivation feels good, but discipline produces results. And at the end of the day, nobody cares how motivated you were. Nobody cares how hyped up you felt. They only care what you built, what you achieved, what you became. And that comes down to one word: discipline. So the next time you say, "I don't feel like it," remember that's the exact reason you must do it. Because discipline is built in the moments when you don't feel like it. Discipline is built in the resistance. Discipline is built in the struggle. And discipline is the difference between living a life of excuses and living a life of excellence. Everyone wants to shine. Everyone wants the recognition, the respect, the freedom, the lifestyle, the admiration, but almost no one wants to sacrifice for it. Everyone wants the reward, but not the price. And that's why most people live small, forgettable lives, because the truth is simple. If you want to shine later, you have to sacrifice now. You cannot have both at the same time. You cannot live like everyone else today and expect to live like no one else tomorrow. Sacrifice is the ticket. Sacrifice is the down payment. Sacrifice is the currency you must pay before success lets you in. The problem is, people confuse sacrifice with suffering. They think sacrifice is punishment, that it's unfair, that it's too much to ask. But sacrifice is the proof that you're serious. Sacrifice is the universe asking you, how badly do you really want this? And if you're not willing to give something up, then you don't really want it. You can talk about your dreams all day, but if you're not sacrificing for them, they're just words. Talk is cheap. Sacrifice is expensive. And only the ones who pay that price earn the right to shine. Sacrifice means you give up comfort. Sacrifice means you give up sleep. You give up parties. You give up weekends. You give up distractions. It means you trade short-term pleasure for long-term power. It means while everyone else is chasing fun, you're chasing discipline. While everyone else is chasing temporary highs, you're building permanent foundations. It means while they're living easy now, you're setting yourself up to live free later. Sacrifice is the separation between average and great. Think about it. Every champion, every legend, every success story you admire, they all sacrificed. They gave up years of comfort. They gave up time with friends. They gave up being liked by everyone. They gave up the things most people cling to. And because of that, they shine brighter than anyone else. They made sacrifices you're not willing to make. That's why they live a life you don't. Success is never an accident. It is purchased by sacrifice. But here's the catch: sacrifice feels invisible at first. When you're grinding in silence, when you're giving up the fun, when you're working while everyone else is resting, it feels like nobody notices. And they don't. Nobody claps for you when you're sacrificing. Nobody cheers when you're grinding. In fact, most people laugh at you. They'll call you obsessed. They'll say you're wasting your youth. They'll say you're missing out. But the same ones who laugh now will be the first to ask for help later. The same ones who mocked your sacrifice will envy your shine. That's why you cannot listen to them. You cannot expect support. You cannot expect understanding, because sacrifice is lonely, but it's worth it. Sacrifice now so you can live free later. Work like a machine while you're young, so you don't have to beg for scraps when you're old. Grind while everyone else is distracted, so you can live on your terms when they're trapped in regret. Every sacrifice you make now is an investment. Every hour you put in, every temptation you resist, every comfort you deny yourself, it all compounds into a future most people will never touch. People say life is short, so you should enjoy it, but they don't realize what enjoying it really means. Enjoying life isn't about temporary pleasure, it's about freedom. It's about living without chains, without stress, without regret. And the only way to earn that freedom is through sacrifice. You suffer now to avoid suffering later. You give up little things now to gain bigger things later. You endure discipline now to enjoy luxury later. Sacrifice is not the end of joy, it's the path to it. The truth is, you're going to sacrifice anyway. You're either going to sacrifice your dreams for comfort, or sacrifice your comfort for dreams. You're either going to pay the price now, or pay it later with regret. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. And when you're older, looking back at your life, you won't regret the sacrifices. You'll regret the excuses. You'll regret the wasted time, the missed opportunities, the nights you chose pleasure over progress. You'll regret not going harder when you had the chance. Sacrifice teaches you patience. It teaches you resilience. It teaches you that good things take time and great things take everything. Sacrifice hardens you. It builds character. It forges you into someone capable of handling success. Because the truth is, if you don't earn it through sacrifice, you won't respect it when it comes. That's why so many people who get success handed to them lose it quickly. They didn't sacrifice for it, so they don't know its value. But when you bleed for it, when you grind for it, when you sacrifice for it, you protect it, you honor it, you multiply it. So ask yourself, what are you willing to give up? What comfort are you willing to kill? What distraction are you willing to eliminate? What habit are you willing to destroy? Because every sacrifice you make now stacks up. Every sacrifice you make now builds momentum. Every sacrifice you make now brings you closer to shining later. The future belongs to those who are willing to pay the price in the present. And when that day comes, when you finally shine, when you finally walk into the life you built through years of sacrifice, the world will call you lucky. They won't see the nights you cried, the mornings you pushed yourself out of bed, the weekends you spent working, the pleasures you gave up, the loneliness you endured. They'll just see the results. They'll see the shine. And they'll never understand what it cost you, but you will. You'll know you earned it. You'll know it was worth it. You'll know the sacrifices you made gave you the freedom to live life on your terms. So don't be afraid of sacrifice. Embrace it. Live for it. Let it separate you from the crowd, because in the end, sacrifice is temporary, but the shine lasts forever. Sacrifice now, shine later. That's the rule of life. That's the price of greatness. That's the deal you have to make if you ever want to escape the ordinary. So make the sacrifices today that your future self will thank you for. Trade the temporary for the permanent. Trade comfort for greatness. Trade excuses for discipline. And when the time comes, when the sacrifices have been paid in full, you'll shine so bright the world will have no choice but to notice. Every single day you wake up, you're writing your story. Every action, every choice, every decision you make is carving your name into history, whether you realize it or not. The sad truth is, most people are writing nothing but excuses. They're leaving behind nothing but wasted potential, broken promises, and reasons why they couldn't do what they were supposed to do. But the people who matter, the ones who rise above, the ones who are remembered, they build a legacy. They don't waste their lives explaining why they didn't make it. They spend their lives proving why they did. Excuses are the language of the weak. They're the shield of people who refuse to face the truth. You can't be both a legend and a liar to yourself. You can't spend your days convincing yourself why you didn't win and expect to leave anything behind worth remembering. People who make excuses become invisible. They disappear, they're forgotten. Excuses erase you from the history books, but those who build a legacy, they don't explain, they don't justify, they don't whine. They just work, they just bleed, they just sacrifice, and when the dust settles, they stand tall because their results speak for them. Think about the people you admire. The names that echo through history, the ones you read about, the ones that inspire you. Do you know their excuses? No, nobody cares about their excuses. Nobody remembers their reasons why it was hard. Nobody writes down their complaints. All we remember is their legacy. All we remember is the empire they built, the battles they fought, the victories they achieved. The lesson is simple. Excuses fade, legacies last. A legacy is more than money, more than fame, more than temporary success. A legacy is impact. A legacy is when your work, your discipline, your courage, your sacrifices continue to speak long after you're gone. A legacy is when people use your name as proof that greatness is possible. A legacy is when your children, your family, or even complete strangers look at your story and find strength in it. That is what makes life meaningful. Not excuses, not comfort, not wasted time. A legacy is the ultimate proof you lived. But here's the harsh reality. Building a legacy hurts, it costs. It demands sacrifice, pain, loneliness, and struggle. You don't build a legacy by doing what's easy. You don't build a legacy by fitting in. You build a legacy by outworking, outlasting, and disciplining everyone else. You build a legacy by holding yourself to a standard nobody else understands. You build a legacy by saying no when others say yes, by staying in the fight when others quit, by pushing forward when everything inside you screams to stop. That's why legacies are rare, because very few are willing to pay the price. Excuses, on the other hand, are free. They cost nothing. That's why everyone has them. Excuses are easy to create, easy to believe, easy to cling to. But the truth is, excuses don't pay bills. Excuses don't build freedom. Excuses don't create generational change. Excuses don't leave your name carved in stone. Excuses die with you. Your children can't inherit your excuses. The world can't respect your excuses. Excuses are worthless, but a legacy is priceless. The choice is yours every single day, legacy or excuses, comfort or greatness, regret or respect, and you cannot have both. The time you spend making excuses is the time you could have spent building something that lasts. Every excuse you cling to steals a piece of your future. Every excuse you accept buries your potential deeper in the ground. Every excuse you repeat out loud is another brick in the wall between you and the life you say you want. And here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Nobody cares about your excuses. Nobody is coming to save you because of your story. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you forever. People are too busy building their own lives to care about why you didn't build yours. The world only respects results. The world only remembers legacies. If you don't build one, then you'll be forgotten. That's the harsh reality you need to face right now. So what does it take to build a legacy? It takes vision. It takes seeing beyond the moment, seeing beyond the distraction, seeing beyond the temporary. It takes patience, knowing that what you're building today might not pay off tomorrow, but it will matter years from now. It takes consistency, because one day of greatness doesn't create a legacy. Years of discipline do. It takes resilience, because storms will come, obstacles will block you, and people will doubt you, but you keep moving forward anyway. A legacy is not built in a day. It's built every single day, brick by brick, sacrifice by sacrifice, battle by battle. One day you will die. That's the truth. And when you do, the only thing that will matter is the story you left behind. Did you build something that lasts? Did you create something bigger than yourself? Did you fight for something worth remembering? Or did you waste it, hiding behind excuses, living small, staying comfortable, and disappearing like you never existed? Because the graveyard is full of excuses, full of people who could have, should have, would have, but didn't. Don't let that be your story. You don't need the whole world to remember you. You just need to build something that matters. Maybe your legacy is your family. Maybe it's your work. Maybe it's the example you set. Maybe it's the empire you build. But whatever it is, it will never happen if you keep excusing your way through life. Build now, sacrifice now, grind now, bleed now, suffer now, because every drop of sweat, every ounce of discipline, every sacrifice you make is building bricks in the legacy that will outlive you. So stop lying to yourself. Stop telling yourself why it can't be done. Stop repeating excuses like a broken record. Start building, start grinding, start creating something that will stand when you're gone, because you were not born to be forgotten. You were not born to be average. You were not born to waste your time with excuses. You were born to build a legacy that proves you lived, that proves you mattered, that proves you refused to waste the gift of life. In the end, you have two choices: leave excuses or leave a legacy. One will die with you, the other will make you immortal. Choose wisely. At the end of the day, life is brutally simple. Nobody cares about your tears, your stories, your excuses, or the reasons you didn't win. The world only respects one thing: results. And the only way you get results is by working harder than you ever thought possible. The only way you become someone worth remembering is by refusing to quit when it hurts, refusing to fold when it's uncomfortable, and refusing to let excuses rob you of your destiny. Think about this. When you die, when your story is over, the people who knew you won't sit around and repeat your excuses. They'll remember your actions. They'll talk about what you built, what you stood for, how you lived. They'll remember if you inspired them, if you pushed limits, if you left behind a legacy, or they'll forget you completely. You'll vanish into the crowd of billions who wasted their time explaining why life was too hard. And I promise you, that's the most painful death of all, to live and be forgotten because you chose excuses over effort. Your pain can be fuel. Your sacrifice can be power. Your discipline can become your weapon. Your grind can build an empire, but excuses only build regret. Excuses create nothing but emptiness. You can't hold excuses in your hands. You can't feed your family with excuses. You can't pass down excuses to your children. All excuses do is steal your potential and bury you in mediocrity. That's why you must kill them now, every single one of them. The truth is, you don't need motivation. Motivation fades. Motivation disappears the moment life gets uncomfortable. What you need is discipline. The iron mindset that says, I don't care how I feel, I don't care what's happening, I don't care who doubts me. I will not stop. That's what builds greatness. That's what builds legacies. That's what separates the remembered from the forgotten. So here's the challenge for you. Decide right now who you want to be. Do you want to be another name lost in the background of history? Or do you want to be a name that forces people to stand up when it's spoken? Do you want to be another excuse, or do you want to be a legacy? Because time is running, whether you act or not. Every day you waste is a day closer to your last. You don't have time to wait for motivation. You don't have time to explain yourself. You don't have time to live small. The clock is ticking, and every second is screaming at you to work harder. And when you finally make it, when the results are undeniable, when the noise of your success is too loud to ignore, you won't have to say a word. You won't have to explain yourself. You won't have to prove yourself. The world will see. The world will know. The world will remember. So stop talking. Stop waiting. Stop excusing. Work harder. Nobody cares. Work harder. Build your legacy. Work harder. And when it's